the enlightened protect me in this battle! May the shadow engulf our enemies!
We must meet with the Mother Cardinal urgently. Only she can put an end to this madness.
Yes?
I would like to have an audience with the Mother Cardinal to discuss the discoveries made during our investigation.
What is this about, Domitius?
Well, I don't rightly know.
You see, Eminence, Bishop Domitius has brought to my ears his order's accusations concerning the Nauts. According to him, they practice a religion close to those of the natives and use a nature-drawn magic. They would also be implicated, therefore, in the appearance of the Malachor.
That is an extremely serious accusation.
Effectively, considering the accusation is founded on no proof other than the Nauts' tradition of secrecy. But these suspicions have pushed the Order to extreme actions, risking the fragile peace of the island. The Ordo Luminis captured several Nauts, locked them in jails rented to them by the Coin Guard. They were tortured with the singular goal of forcing them to admit heresy. They obtained nothing. If I had not intervened, these men would be dead.
Is this true, Domitius?
Some of our brothers undoubtedly misinterpreted the evil. I would have never allowed such a plan.
These Nauts are now united with their captain, and I am certain they would be most eager to bear testimony. Following up on the accusations of Bishop Domitius, I wanted to verify for myself what this was all about. I went to take a look at their storerooms and saw what they contained. There were neither idols nor objects of any ritual, nor even anything magical, and absolutely nothing that could be attributed to the origin of the Malachor. I found nothing but measuring instruments and diverse navigational machines. I caught wind of a ridiculous scheme planned for the port by the Ordo Luminis, and I wanted to clear it up. I was able to get my hand on documents that effectively detailed an attack. A great purification. They were signed by you, Father, and included a contract where you enlisted the assistance of the Coin Guard to attack every Naut building and make prisoner of every one of their men that could be taken alive.
Domitius, how could you? Whatever did you want to accomplish?
The Nauts are not believers. We should not be dependent on heretics.
Have you gone completely mad, Domitius? We are on an island. How could we not be dependent on the Nauts? I want them arrested. Him and every member of his order. I will decide at a later time their fate. I thank you for bringing this business to my attention. Going after the Nauts. What madness. Without you, this city would now be drowning in chaos. Carry my best wishes to your cousin. His desire to maintain the peace on the island honors his house's reputation.
I will tell him, Your Eminence. Until we meet again.
Can I get you anything?
I'm here for something else. Can I ask you a couple of questions?
If you wish. What would you like to know?
Do you think that the Mother Cardinal may have ever been here?
Are you drunk or something?
You sometimes deliver goods to your big clients, isn't that right?
Of course. The rich don't like to get drunk among mere mortals.
And have you ever supplied anyone from the palace?
Yes, that has happened. It suits them.
And who places these orders?
Well, a steward, of course. Don't you know how things work?
A woman? Dressed in a long green cloak?
No, the steward is more discreet. On the other hand, the person in the big green coat, the steward speaks to her sometimes. They know each other or work together.
What can you tell me about a certain candy cane?
Candy cane. Everyone speaks about him or has heard of him, but no one really knows him.
And what do they say about him?
Here, nothing. You need to go downstairs for that sort of thing.
To the games room and the brothel?
Yes, that's more the kind of place where they'd talk about him.
I have to go. I will leave you to... Good day.
Welcome. You here to wager? To fight?
I imagine that the name Candy Cane rings a bell.
Obviously. Even though I would prefer it wasn't the case. He's a sort of... organizer. He captures most of the beasts who fight in the arena.
How is that a problem?
Apparently, he's fixed a few fights. These kind of rumors aren't good for my business.
If that's the case, why don't you stop him?
He has friends, protectors. Without solid evidence, no one will lift a finger. And the only ones who wanted to speak of his cartel have disappeared.
Do you know where I can find him?
He often hangs out around the port at night, but I strongly advise you to stay away from the guy.
I know how to look after myself. Thanks for the information. Has the Mother Cardinal ever come here to place bets?
The Mother Cardinal? And why not Saint Matthias himself?
On what would we be betting?
On the fights in the arena. Quite a few come here and bet.
And do they win?
A few do. Others have less luck.
What is this arena?
It's a place of great pomp and entertainment, where all manner of fight. People are coming from...
I must be going.
Next time...
Ready to accept?
I need to get... Good day.
Welcome.
I must be...
Next...
A feast for the...
So, have you found...
Let's just say that I'm...
My treasures are worth their price.
For you?
I'm sure we can...
Here you are.
Thank you, my lord.
Thank you.
There are too many of you for me alone, my...
Sorry, madam. but we're here to... This question might seem a little surprising, but...
Why? It's mine.
Are you sure you want to broach that subject here?
You're right. Come with me. Well, what do you want? Why are you giving me back my earring?
You know where we found it, don't you?
Obviously. I realized as soon as I got...
I imagine your pimp does not know that you take part in these parties.
No. Do not say anything to him, I beg you. He's on my case.
Then I suggest you answer my questions.
What would you like to know?
Could you tell us who you saw at the parties?
Rich people, or better. They seemed very rich and important to me. But I don't know them.
Do you know who organizes these parties?
Not really, no. A steward pays me when I go, but I don't see anyone else, apart from the clients.
You can't even give me a single name.
No. The only person who sometimes speaks to this steward is a woman who is always wearing a green coat. She never takes part in the festivities, but the steward rushes over whenever she arrives.
Do you think that an important person from Thélème could have partaken in these soirees?
You're thinking of Mother Cardinal, aren't you? You lot really think we are a bunch of degenerates.
You're hardly a shining example of virtue, my child. Just answer our questions.
Sorry, Father, I don't know the Mother Cardinal, but I strongly doubt she dabbles in that.
You don't think you could recognize her, and you don't think you've crossed paths. What a testimony. Admit it, you must know more than you're letting on. It's virtually impossible not to recognize someone while being so close to these influential people, wouldn't you agree?
Well, I was able to recognize someone, once. Even with a mask on, I'm good at recognizing my clients.
Please continue. I'm all ears.
I don't want to implicate anyone, but he is of no real importance, and you've probably never even heard of him. It's the local moneylender.
I know very well who you're referring to, my dear.
But I didn't mention anything to you, huh? This stays between us.
I don't even remember the subject of this conversation anymore. Do you know someone who goes by the name of Candy Cane?
Everyone does. He is a powerful person.
Have you ever spotted him?
In all honesty, I wouldn't even be able to recognize him. I've heard...
This woman in the green coat. Could you tell me about her?
She always hides her face. Then she disappears into a little office.
I see. She is quite important. Thank you for your help.
Be sure not to mention this to anyone.
Good day.
Welcome.
I must...
Next.
Look who it...
I'm looking for a woman who can...
Yes, I have seen this coat before. All I know is that I've seen her speak. A steward of the palace who...
I have to go.
May the Enlightened bless you.
Greetings.
Desade.
Nice to meet you. What can I do for you?
That will be all. Good day.
Welcome.
I'm looking for someone.
Yeah, I know who you mean. She just comes in, especially for the big fights, and she has pride.
Do you know where I can find...
No, I don't...
She wouldn't happen to be coming back to collect some winnings, would she?
No, and I can't...
I must be going.
Next time...
So, how do you see things, my child?
I think that the usurer is lending money to the Cardinal, and very significant sums at that. With this money, she bets on the arena fights while hiding in a big green coat. And she also gives large amounts to a certain candy cane, known for fixing fights.
Not only does our dear Amelia love betting games, but she also wouldn't think twice about cheating to win.
Maybe he's just giving her advice. How can we prove anything?
We can always try asking him. Who knows? Perhaps he will give us an answer. Candy Cane is not here. At least not yet. Remember, my child, the bookmaker told us that he hangs around here at night.
That's true. You're right. Let's come back later.
Our enemies!
comes our pay,
Protect me in
boys!
this battle.
May the Enlightened always keep you in his divine blessing.
Good evening. Are you the one they call Candy Cane?
Who are you?
Desade, legate of the merchant congregation.
A legate, no less. I imagine in these cases, the one accompanying you is the famous Petrus.
You seem to be very well informed. Therefore, you might be able to answer my question. What do you know about a woman in a green coat?
Why would I tell you?
We know that you have business with this woman, and that she is actually the Mother Cardinal.
How did you... You would be better off forgetting that.
That's not exactly the response I'd imagined. But nevertheless, seems rather eloquent.
I told you to forget about it, or you'll soon run into trouble. Legate or no legate.
Come on, it was just an innocent little conversation. Goodbye, Mr. Kane.
Bye. And Godspeed.
We have enough information.
Really? Is the fact that she bets on fights that are potentially fixed enough for you?
It's already a huge scandal. Let me just think about it for a little while. I will find a way of putting this information to good use.
I have faith in you, Father. What an astounding place.
My mother told me about this place. She said that the village was devoured by the houses of the Suns. How could their chief...
Welcome to Eden, the lighthouse of faith, harmony, and civilization in these wild lands.
Thank you. Desade, I'm the legate of the merchant congregation.
And I am Father Justinius. Delighted. And what may I do for you?
The Mother Cardinal has asked me to investigate the theft of these tablets you discovered.
That's excellent news. The loss of the tablets is a catastrophe. We have to find them at all costs. If you want to learn more about these tablets, you should go ask Sister Eugenia. She supervises the theologians who discovered them, and were also guarding them. You should find her a bit further in the village, with her colleagues.
Who are the suspects of this theft?
The heretical brutes of the village of Vedlug most likely had a hand in this. They must have wanted to please the demons they worship by stealing the holy word from us.
How could they have learned of the tablet's existence?
Perhaps the demons are giving them this power. Unless one of the natives living in the village innocently mentioned them. They are so naive. Either way, I am certain that the heretics are involved in this matter.
I must leave you.
May the enlightened...
I wondered how my people could accept the priests settling in their home like this.
It all seems a bit too convenient. If we find out some information about the history of Eden, maybe we'll change our view on things. The theft of the relic is probably not a coincidence.
I am busy. If you have questions, go see Sister Eugenia. She's our supervisor.
Hello. The Mother Cardinal asked me to help you find the tablets that were stolen. Can I ask you some questions?
Of course. But hurry, I have a lot to do.
I talked to Father Justinius. He told me that you were supervising the theologians here.
Indeed. It is under my supervision that the research on Saint Matthias is conducted.
Whom do you suspect of being the thief?
Alas. I'm afraid there are many suspects. These tablets are priceless relics. Some settlers may have fallen prey to the lure of profit. The heretical natives of Vedlug may have wanted to take them away from us. Or it could have been vengeance by those who had to leave the village.
Where were the tablets the night they were stolen?
We were keeping them in one of the village's shacks. We intended to bring them to San Matthias later. But first, we wanted to examine them in order to obtain as much information as possible. You can go and take a look in the shack if you want to, but I couldn't find any traces of forced entry.
I imagine someone was keeping watch over them.
Of course, we took turns guarding the shack. But some of us can't have taken the task that seriously. If I remember correctly, it was Brother Virgil who was guarding them that night.
Well, thank you for these pieces of information.
I am the one who should be thanking you. Especially if you managed to retrieve the tablets for us.
The Mother Cardinal told me that this village had been developed on the basis... Are you one of the theologians?
Yes. I was sent here to come, and then I stayed.
What was the reaction of the natives when you arrived here?
Most of them were not in favor of us living amongst them. They were afraid we might chase them out of their own village. And there were even more protests once we started talking about searching for traces of Saint Matthias. I suppose they thought we would destroy all of their raised stones and other places of superstition.
Were there any confrontations with the natives?
Yes. The warriors of the village attacked us. The Ordo Luminous actually had to intervene. The Inquisition managed to make them run away. The islanders tried to attack again with the support of Vedlug, but we stood our ground. And when Lur, the chief of the village, finally accepted our presence, things calmed down.
Thank you. This information will certainly prove to be useful. Thank you. Greetings, Desade. I am handling the investigation into the theft of the tablets. Sister Eugenia told me to talk to you.
I'm Brother Virgil. What would you like to know?
According to your colleague, you were the one in charge of guarding the tablets on the night of the theft. Is that right?
Indeed.
What can you tell me about that night? Did you hear or see anything?
No, nothing in particular. The night was quiet, and then the morning after, we saw they were gone.
Someone had to enter the shack to steal the tablets. How did that happen?
I have no idea. The door was closed in the morning, and the lock was intact.
Do you think the culprit could be a native?
Well, since none of us did it, it seems obvious. There aren't many other settlers around here, and the natives knew of the existence of these tablets before we found them. They were attached to them too, in their own way.
They are the ones who led you to them.
Well, we conducted the research, but they helped us find where they were hidden. Some inhabitants of the village are still giving us a hand with our work.
Do you suspect
Not really.
Well,
of course. All that matters to us...
Well, thank you.
As you wish.
There were would
now
to keep... I was not expecting a theolo... I will leave you...
Hello. I am Lair, the village...
Hello. Desarde. I am the legate of the merchant congregation.
There are Onol Manawi among the Logead Blau. I did not know that. What do you want from me?
I've heard a lot of things about this village of Eden, but I'd like to hear your version.
I'm not sure I have the answers to all of your questions, but I'll try.
Tell me about the arrival of the people of Teleme, and how you received them.
The priests were roaming around the village. They were saying that it was the place where their saint had lived. They were asking questions, talking about the Lloyd and all these things. One morning they were building houses next to ours. And we had new neighbors.
The priests told me that they had managed to convert you. How did that happen?
As long as we refused to listen to them, they were violent, and they destroyed some of our sanctuaries. So we let them talk. And now that they think that we love their god, they leave us alone. Some of the things they say are beautiful, and their magic is impressive. But we do not forget our spirits.
One of the theologians told me that you had helped them in their research.
They wanted to find tracks of the old sage, of the one they call Saint Matthäus, and they were rummaging through everything. Our Donegad did not want to tell them anything, because the old sage is sacred here. But since they violently interrogated everyone, I thought it wise to guide them to the place where the stones were.
What happened to your warriors? Why did they have to leave the village?
They did not accept the presence of the priests and their questions. They tried to retake the village. They even asked Deirdre, the chief of Vedlug, for her help. So, the priests called the Soul Lasser, the Burning Suns, and they killed many of them. I asked for peace, and the others left us. They wanted to join Vedlug, Perhaps they have done so.
Aren't you angry after all that happened?
No. I mourn those who died, of course. And the Vorstyrent. But this village may be our opportunity.
Your opportunity for what?
For the Renaigse to understand who we are. Not savages, nor monsters, but men. Perhaps wiser than they are.
I have to go.
Like...
Father,
I'm glad to see...
tell me about how you...
We did not... And so,
why share this...
to replicate and resume the work of our... If he came here, and by living side by side with them...
How well do you get along?
Very well, of course. Especially...
Left?
Oh, to other villages. Some of their legends must have been about...
And how well have neighbors...
With some reluctance, to be... There are still frequent... But the other villages, the more...
There are no Onol Manawi and no one...
Perfect harmony takes time, my child. But, in the meantime, nobody thought we could live side by side with your...
I must leave.
May the
Hello, brother.
Oh, Desade.
Have you been in Eden for
2 months. I joined
We arrived.
the 1-2 week.
We must.
How are your relations with
When I arrived, we were still trying to... They were very reluctant to give us any answers. Our attempts eventually made some of the inhabitants of the village react badly. The warriors. And the marked. The ones the natives call the Onomanawi. And it has proved nothing but a I would like to go back to work now.
Of course. I will leave you. I knew that the story would be more complex than we'd been told.
The priests separated this village into 2 parts. The exiles must be broken-hearted, having left their clan behind.
Had they been wiser and accepted their new neighbors, they'd never have been forced to leave.
Either way, the resentment here is strong enough for a theft to occur. There is only one entrance and the door shows no evidence of a break-in.
This priest, Virgil, said that the night was calm. So calm that he probably fell asleep. So, the thieves only had to take the key from him.
It's very likely that that's what happened, but someone must have informed them. It can't be a coincidence that they decided to steal it during the watch of the only neglectful guard.
You think that the one who told them is in this village?
We know that this theft could be an act of vengeance by the natives who were forced to leave here. They must still have allies in the village, family or friends. We should go talk to the chief of the natives. He will certainly know who is close to the exiles, and enough about the researchers to inform them.
You have returned on Manawi. Do you need...
I think I know who stole the...
Really?
I believe those who were exiled from your village seek vengeance because the mission... They must have taken the tablets with the help of someone else who...
You may be right.
You do well to tell me what you know. Once the priests have reached the same conclusions as I have, how do you think they will interrogate you?
You're probably right. The Inquisitors would come back, and my people would suffer. I do not want to break the peace that I did all I could to make. I think the name of the woman you are looking for is Vindwal. She helps the priests who seek...
If she's helping the priests...
Her son is one of the warriors who had to leave the village. If you go talk to her, please, do not hurt her. She...
I have no intention of hurting her, but things may not be so simple when... I have to go. Greeting.
That is me. What do you want?
What can you tell me about Le?
He is a man of peace. Some people dislike him, not me. But I think the mind shakers. He almost speaks like them now.
Listen, I know you helped the exiles to...
No. This is...
There's no point in denying it. I know you did it for your son who had to...
If you know that, then you know that I don't have the tablets.
Tell me where the exiles are. I must retrieve these tablets.
You're asking me to betray my son. Promise me that you won't hurt him.
I promise. But if he reacts violently, I'll have to defend myself.
Then I hope he'll be reasonable. Bran and the others are hiding in the woods, beyond the circle of stone.
Thank you, Vindwal.
Protect me in this battle! May the shadow engulf our enemies! May the shadow engulf our enemies!
Here's the place that Vindwal indicated. The exiles must be near.
These people have been banished already.
Do it! What are you doing here?
I'm not here to fight you, but I must retrieve the tablets of Saint Matthias.
What? How do you know we have them? And how? Not Freddy. We will not give them back! We lost our homes and families, so the priests lose their sacred stones.
I know that you are seeking vengeance, but the priests will not be the only ones to suffer the consequences of your actions. Your mother helped you, And once they find out about it, she will pay the price in your place. Is that what you want?
They will not suspect her. She's helping them in their research. And even if they found out, they wouldn't hurt her.
Perhaps I could do something for you in exchange for the tablets.
You are a Renaigse. You cannot...
I am also an Onol Manawi. So?
We want to join the Sengeden Anadas, Deirdre's clan. But she only accepts warriors, and not all of us are warriors. Give us a family and a home, and we will give you...
Very well. I hope that we manage to convince Deirdre.
Is it you who helped my warriors discover...
Indeed.
Then I thank you. It's probably because...
Since you have helped us find this camp, I would like to request your help once more. We must save those who are there, suffering at the hands of the Soul Lasser.
What do you intend to do exactly?
Attack and destroy this camp, and those who live in it, to set my people free.
And how am I supposed to help you?
My clan is powerful, but so are these Soul Lasser. I need more warriors. Eseld of the Gaius Rad is in my debt, but I'm afraid she might refuse to honor it after her clan was defeated. You know how to talk to people, and you are friends with her twin sister. I would like...
I suppose I could try at least.
That would be good. It would also be good if you could fight alongside us to meet us near the camp with the
Anything more?
I come on behalf of the exiles of Vik Sonegad. They'd like to join your clan.
Some already have done. The others should just do like them and undergo the trials of the warriors.
But not all of them are warriors.
We're about to go to war. Those who do not know how to fight.
Siora.
Why do you refuse to welcome the exiles? They want to fight the Renaigse, just like you.
Why do you not welcome them amongst the Gaius Rad, if you have so much compassion for them?
It is your clan they want to join, not mine.
Make them change their mind. I will not change mine.
I implore you to reconsider, Deirdre. Though they may not all be fighters, these people will know how to make themselves useful in your village.
Very well. You have helped. You can tell the exiles that I'm... Anything more?
You must go talk to Isel, because without her men...
Anything more?
I need to be... I'm glad I managed to convince her. Now we'll be able to retrieve the tablets, and the exiles will have a clan once more.
I do not want to interrupt, but I think our priority should be to find Cornelia. I doubt our Mother Cardinal is aware of the Inquisition's actions. She will certainly want to put an end to it all to appease the natives. Whereas, a frontal assault led by Deirdre and her men would only rekindle the conflict. And Cornelia would certainly take umbrage at an intervention of the congregation without even informing her of the situation.
So? She accepted to welcome you.
I did not think that you'd man...
Thank you.
At Loredar. And you were right. You are more on Almanar.
What are you doing here?
I was worried for my son.
Yes, everything is fine.
Really? What about the others?
I managed to convince her to
I thank you for helping them.
I retrieved your...
Thank you. Thank you immensely. Thanks to them, we will be able to continue our research on St. Matthias.
I am curious to know who is responsible for this theft. The culprit must be brought to justice.
I do not want to point the finger at anyone. You have your relics back, and that's the only thing that matters.
Your indulgence honors you. But how can we be certain that these thieves will not strike again?
A good start would be to keep a better watch on the priceless treasures that you find.
Had you respected this village, you would not have to look for a culprit. You settled here without even asking those who lived here for their opinion on the matter. Instead of talking about harmony, start taking action to really make it happen.
But that is precisely what we desire more than anything. We may have been a bit clumsy in the beginning, but we'll make sure to improve things in the future. You really were a great help. I would be most grateful if you agreed to continue helping us.
I might come back at some point, but alas, I'm very busy.
Naturally. Either way, we are certainly capable of continuing our research without you.
Actually, I must go back to my work.
Your next expedition?
Our brave researchers must continue to follow the tracks of our... In the meantime, here, take this as a token of gratitude.
Thank you.
Oh, there you are, Your Excellency.
What's going on? Where are the others?
After deciphering the content of the tablets, they went... but they must have encountered problems. Brother Fideli most likely came to seek help, but he fainted. It's impossible...
I'm not a doctor, but I may be able to examine it.
Oh, please do. Any help would... and the healer we sent for will certainly arrive too late.
This man is burning up with fever, and he bears several bite marks and traces of blows.
The blows did not put him in this state. He looks like a victim of poisoning. With the right antidote, I think we could get him back on...
Have you tried giving him any
Of course, but to no avail. And what if it were a hex cast...
No matter what happens, you always...
Why, of course. These savages are always to blame. The man, there are some rare animals there, and their venom is terrible. A healer for...
We could ask Lair. He will direct us to someone who understands...
On Ullman?
Oi. Did Vin...
Yeah, and you prove...
I need your advice. You may already know that one of the researchers came back wounded from the expedition.
I heard about it.
He has all the symptoms of a poisoning, but the anti-poisons we gave him had no effect. He must have been bitten by a creature of the swamp, and we're looking for a healer who would know of a suitable antidote.
So, you came to see me. Interesting. Our neighbors did not think for one moment that we could be helpful. Alas, our Donegad is one of the exiles.
Thank you. I will go see her. I have to...
Here you are again.
I have come to ask for your help. Lair told me you know about remedies.
I do know a few of them. I have learned about plants. I used to want to become a Donegad.
One of the researchers came back wounded from the expedition. Apparently he was bitten by a creature of the swamp.
And now he has the Llewellyn fever. We have a good knowledge about this affliction. He will die if he does not receive proper treatment.
Do you know which antidote?
Yes. These priests are idiots. You are different. And so, I will give you the potion to cure. Make him drink this remedy and he'll get better.
Thank you, Vindwal.
Where am I?
You are in Eden.
Was I unconscious? Swamp is so hostile.
What caused the...
A nightmarish creature. A colleague and I had left to fetch. I managed to run away, but I don't know what...
Show me the location of your colleague.
There.
Thank you. I do not remember there being a path in this place the last time we came.
You're perfectly right, my child. This passage must have been cleared by the expedition. We should follow it.
Hey, what's happening here? I could hear you from miles away.
Your Excellency, I'm so happy to see you.
How did you manage to find us?
Brother Fidelis managed to reach Eden. He's the one who told us where your camp was.
But he didn't leave alone. What happened to Father Aubrey?
He must be dead, like our other companions. This is yet more proof that you are not fit to lead such a team. I should be the one in charge.
Maybe you should calm down and explain to me.
This expedition was undertaken with no concern for common sense. Our people are disappearing, and all we have found are some falsified rights.
Brother Virgil is terrified, which probably explains why we have made incredible discoveries, and we could...
You are beyond redemption. I won't waste another... If you want to talk to me, Your Excellency, it will have...
How charming.
Your Excellency, I hope you will forgive us for that... scene. My relations with Virgil have always been difficult, but ever since we arrived here, it has been unbearable. I'm afraid we may need an arbiter.
Before anything else, I need to know what led to this situation between you.
What would you like to know?
For what reason were you quarreling?
The expedition itself, I'm afraid. Virgil was always against it. For him, our discoveries in Eden were sufficient. They confirmed what he... According to him, we should never have continued. And when we found new tablets...
Were they also written by Saint...
Without a doubt. The handwriting is the same. But what really angers Virgil is the content we managed... Our founder explains that he learned a lot from the islanders. He now persists in saying that these tablets are fake.
Brother Fidelis told me that several members of the expedition have disappeared.
Yes. That's why he left, along with Father Aubricus. 3 more of our colleagues are missing. And I'm not even talking. I must admit that I made a mistake. I should have prepared this expedition more thoroughly.
And no one has searched for those who were missing.
I wanted us to search for them, but some... Along with lack of preparation, our constantly decreasing...
And by someone, I suppose you mean Brother Virgil.
Indeed.
I'm thankful for these pieces of information. But you understand that I...
Of course, that's understandable. You must hear us both.
Brother Virgil.
What do you want?
Can you explain to me what...
The reason for it is very simple. It is Eugenia's folly. The discoveries made in Eden were sufficient, but no. She didn't want... She organized this expedition in a hurry, and now she's accepting as facts the delirious writings we discovered on these tablets without...
What do you mean?
We found some new tablets, allegedly, but their content is so absurd. I am certain that the natives must have found these stones before us and modified...
How would they have done that? The natives cannot write...
They must have been helped by an unscrupulous settler.
Brother Fidelis told me that some of your colleagues went missing. Do you know anything about this?
They did not go missing. They were killed. It was the wild beasts, the diseases, and let's not forget that we can feel their presence, roaming around the camp at night.
That's strange. There
aren't any. There are a few hermits, but they are... And they have better things to do than roam around their...
We have been in this region, and the only native we met was a little insane, but would have been incapable of killing...
Those savages may very well have been following us. We will not be safe on this island.
I see. So
we can die as well.
I cannot take sides in your quarrel for now. And, in any case, it is not what matters. Even if you think they are dead, we have to try...
Well, if you are prepared to take such a risk, but I would not get my hopes up. To get there, take the path south of here. But be careful.
This man's death was no accident, nor was it linked to any predator attack. It was caused by a violent strike to the back of the skull with a mace. And it didn't take place here. The marks surrounding the body show that it was moved, most likely to make it seem like he fell to his death. This man's skull is sunken, but he doesn't look like he was in a fight. Could he have fallen?
That is unlikely. Look, my child. The wound is located at the back of the skull. I regret to say that in my opinion he was struck from behind, with a mace, most likely.
Protect me in this battle!
This poor soul was almost entirely devoured. He must have been killed by swamp animals. Even so, this wound looks different from the others. It looks like a knife wound.
You're right. He was stabbed before being fed to the animals. But anyone could have used such a blade.
The body of this man was devoured by beasts, but it happened after he had died. One of the wounds is clearly a knife wound. But alas, it's impossible to know who was wielding it.
May the enlightened protect me in this battle! May the shadow guard our enemies!
fang marks are impressive. The poor man didn't have a chance. He must have been attacked by a large reptile, most likely a Llewellyn. But what was he doing alone so far from camp? It seems obvious now that these disappearances were orchestrated.
The deaths of these people were a deception. Only the Renaigse are deceitful enough to do such a thing. They kill each other and accuse my people. This virgin, he wants to push aside this woman at all cost. He must be the culprit.
Indeed. I think that we should go find this brother and ask for an explanation. Brother Virgil.
Your Excellency!
Indeed. I regret to say that they are
I knew it!
I'm afraid someone else is responsible for this. These deaths are not accidental, and yet they were disguised as such.
The savages! Their thirst for blood is up.
Watch your tongue, priest. Our people have no need to hide. Only the Renaigse are deceitful enough to
Who else could it be?
Someone who desperately wanted this expedition to fail.
Fine. You unmasked me. But the Ordo Luminous sent me to keep an eye to ensure that the discoveries we made would not jeopardize. But the inscriptions on the tablets are a heresy. A dangerous manipulation. Can you imagine what would happen if it was said that our founder listened to the teachings of... But even then, foolish Eugenia accepted these discoveries without realizing that our entire nation could suffer because of it.
I understand that you might want to protect your nation, but to go as...
Come now. What would you do if someone were threatening the Congress? You cannot make me believe that you would not be willing to kill. But since you want to avoid using violence, help me convince Eugenie. My colleagues and I know how to sort through these discoveries.
This Renaigse tried to blame my people. The priests would have wanted to punish them, and innocent people would have died. He must answer for his treachery.
It is undeniable that these discoveries could cause a great upset in Taleme. But he has no right to decide what should be revealed or not. Be careful with your accusations, though. Eugenia and her colleagues are on edge.
It seems to me that all members of this expedition are concerned. Everybody listen. Alas, I must inform you that I have found the dead bodies of your missing colleagues.
How awful. What happened to them?
Someone wanted us to believe that they were killed by some swamp animals, but it was all staged. Your colleagues were murdered, and their bodies abandoned to the creatures.
What? But why do such a thing? And who murdered them?
Brother Virgil confessed to his crimes in front of me.
Monster! You will pay for these crimes. These people you killed were our brothers, our friends.
You stupid goose. You really believe that I will let you pass judgment on me? You shouldn't have been so quick to accept these lies that could destroy our nation. And want to reveal them for all to hear. You are solely responsible for these deaths.
How dare you present yourself as the protector of our nation?
May the Enlightened protect me in this battle! May the shadow engulf our enemies!
I'm sorry, sister.
The coward. And naturally his accomplice.
Perhaps I shouldn't have revealed his crimes in front, but I thought it was the best way of ensuring he...
Considering how high tensions have been these last few days, a fight was inevitable here. Take... Alas. We will have to go back to Eden as well. There are too few of us to continue...
Were you hoping to discover...
Of course. This place was... The last tablets speak of a journey northbound, further up in... But even if Virgil is no longer a threat...
We could go there for you if you wish.
That would be marvelous. Of course. I think I noticed a path going north. Perhaps you will be lucky enough to find more...
Don't worry. I...